The hallowed grass of the All England club has witnessed countless moments of sporting drama, but what unfolded on Court 3 on that Thursday afternoon was nothing short of a seismic shockwave. Alex Eala, the 21-year-old Filipina sensation, didn't just win a tennis match, she orchestrated a masterpiece of resilience and raw determination that left the tennis world completely shell-shocked. She faced Maya Joint, the woman who had just days earlier slain the legend Serena Williams on centre court, the same opponent who had broken her heart in the Eastbourne final just a year ago. The stage was set for history. The first set slipped away, and the demons of the past threatened to resurface. But what happened next was pure, unfiltered brilliance. Eala roared back with a fury that silenced the doubters and sent the Filipino community in London into absolute delirium. She won 9 consecutive games. She delivered a stunning 6-0 Bagel in the final set. She became the first player from the Philippines, in the Open era, to reach the third round of a Grand Slam singles tournament. This wasn't just a victory. This was a masterclass. This was a coronation. And Wimbledon, the most prestigious tournament in the world, erupted. To understand the magnitude of this victory, you have to look back at the pain that fueled it. Exactly 1 year ago, on the grass of Eastbourne, Alex Eala stood just inches away from her first WTA title. She held 4 championship points against Maya Joint. 4. But Joint saved them all, snatching victory in a heartbreaking super tiebreak. The loss hit Eala with the force of a freight train. It hit me quite hard, she admitted afterward, her voice still heavy with the memory. I cried a lot, and I don't think I was able to watch those highlights for a couple of months. That defeat wasn't just a loss, it was a crucible. It forged a steeliness in the young Filipina that would define her career. Fast forward to Wimbledon 2026. Joint, riding the high of her monumental upset of Serena Williams in the first round, was the hot hand. The crowd was buzzing. But Eala was a woman possessed by a singular purpose, revenge. Knowing that, I really had to dig deep, Eala said on court after the match. She entered the match seeking redemption on the biggest stage in tennis, and she wasn't going to leave without it. The past year had transformed her from a heartbroken finalist into a history-making powerhouse, and she was ready to prove it. The initial stages of the match were nothing short of terrifying for Eala's legion of fans. Maya Joint, fresh off her victory over Serena Williams, came out swinging with ferocious intent. She broke Eala in the second game, taking an early 2-0 lead. The Australian's ball striking was crisp and relentless, dictating play from the baseline and piling on the pressure. She finished the first set with a commanding 13-4 edge in winners over Eala, who appeared uncharacteristically sluggish and struggled to find her rhythm. Joint broke Eala again in the 9th game to wrap up the opening set 6-3. The ghosts of Eastbourne were looming large. For a moment, it felt like history was about to repeat itself in the cruelest way. The Filipino community watching in the stands held their breath. Even Eala, wearing heavy strapping on her right leg, looked vulnerable. But what happened next was a complete shift in momentum. The seemingly unshakable Joint started to crack. After dominating the first set, she sprayed 14 unforced errors in the second set, allowing Eala to claw her way back into the contest. The seed of doubt was planted, and Eala was ready to harvest it. I really had to dig deep after Maya came out on fire, Eala later said. That fire was about to be extinguished by a rising tide of Filipina fury. The turning point came in the third game of the second set. Eala earned her first break of the match, moving ahead 2-1. The confidence that had been missing in the first set began to flood back. She started extending rallies, forcing Joint into mistakes and taking control from the baseline. She broke Joint again in the 7th game and served out the set with ice-cold composure, leveling the match at 1 set apiece. But the third set was where the masterclass truly began. The momentum was now firmly in Eala's corner, and she refused to relinquish it. She broke Joint in the very first game of the deciding set. Then she broke her again in the third game. The Filipino flags in the crowd were waving furiously. The atmosphere was electric, described by Eala herself as amazing and respectful. Eala was unstoppable, her ground strokes finding the lines and her net game becoming increasingly commanding. She blanked Joint for the remainder of the set, reeling off 9 consecutive games from the end of the second set to complete a stunning 6-0 Bagel in the third. It was a complete and utter decimation of an opponent who had just defeated Serena Williams. In that moment, Alex Eala had not only avenged her past, but had announced her arrival as a force of nature on the grass. With the match point secured, the emotions were overwhelming. Eala looked up to the stands, where hundreds of Filipino fans waved red, yellow, and blue flags. Her family and team wore T-shirts bearing a picture of the sampaguita, the national flower of the Philippines, a symbol of her roots and her journey. "It's obviously an amazing thing for me to do that for my country," she said, her voice filled with pride. She is the first Filipina, in the Open era, to reach the third round of a Grand Slam singles tournament. The Philippines, a country obsessed with boxing and basketball, had a new hero. Even world boxing champion Manny Pacquiao and tennis legend Venus Williams, her doubles partner, congratulated her on the historic achievement. Eala has been carrying her culture with her on court, from her white visor etched with a Tagalog phrase meaning every dream begins as a seed. Once it grows, it cannot be stopped, to her sampaguita hair tie. She has become a symbol of hope and perseverance for an entire nation. "I really appreciate that I'm able to share this with the nation," she said. "But I think first and foremost it makes me super proud because of the work that I've put in." The work had paid off, and the world was taking notice, yet, as the celebrations echo across London, Eala knows her journey is far from over. The victory over Joint has set up a monumental third-round clash with the defending Wimbledon champion, Iga Swiatek. The Polish star, a 6-time Grand Slam champion, has reached the third round of 26 consecutive Grand Slams, a testament to her dominance. But Eala has history with Swiatek. In the 2025 Miami Open, she stunned the world by defeating Swiatek in straight sets. Swiatek, however, got her revenge a month later in Madrid. The head-to-head is tied at 1-1, and the rubber match is on the sport's most hallowed stage. Swiatek is wary, calling Eala's game tricky and admitting that on grass, it becomes even more tricky. "For sure she's using her strengths, the change of rhythm and everything," Swiatek said. "Eala is ready. I think it's going to be tough for me," she admitted. "I'm going to try to make it tough for her, as well." The world expected this Wimbledon to be a coronation for Swiatek. But Alex Eala has other plans. Her masterclass against Joint was just the opening act. The main event against the defending champion promises to be a battle for the ages, and nobody, absolutely nobody, saw this coming. The tennis world is in complete shock, and the best is yet to come.